So the Senate at a stalemate over a bill to provide an additional $250 billion in aid to American small businesses. Meanwhile, many in the restaurant industry say the current measures do not do enough. Andrew Rigie is the executive director of the New York City Hospitality Alliance. Andrew, welcome here. You represent more than 2,000 restaurants, bars, and clubs, and I know you are feeling it today. First of all, your message about the law, why does it not help you and others?
So the Paycheck Protection Program, basically it's well intended. The problem is if business owners are going to get 2.5 times their monthly payroll to hire all their employees back, it makes no sense because restaurant and bar owners do not know when we're going to be able to open again. And once we do open, what business is going to be like? Are Americans and tourists going to be comfortable to go eat and drink out? So it doesn't make sense to take this money and hire people back when they're not working and then have to potentially lay them off again. So that's a big problem. The second problem, in high-cost real estate cities like New York and really across the country, the law only allows 25% of that loan to go to rent and other expenses. So we really need to allow this money that is a loan to be converted to a grant if it is used over the next 6 months, not before June. And we need more of that money to be able to be used towards rent and utilities and all of these other expenses our small business owners have.
Andrew, the way correct me if I'm wrong, the law says if you take the money, right? If you take the money, you've got to keep your employees for a period of 2 months. Right? That way, the unemployment rate stays where it is. People have protection for a period of 60 days. Then perhaps maybe once we get past that, we come back for another bite of this apple, quite literally, here in New York. But you're saying the law does not have enough flexibility built into it. So change it.
Yeah, because currently, so exactly. So currently the law requires that you would have to bring back your employees to pre-pandemic levels by the end of June. So that's not realistic for most restaurants. We don't know if we'll be open. We don't know if we're going to have enough business to sustain those pre-pandemic staffing levels. So we should extend the forgiveness period. If we bring back our employees by the end of the year, let that loan turn into a grant. What we cannot do is allow this loan to become more debt for our small business owners.
Okay, Andrew, two questions. Why do you think they built the law this way?
Well, I think for some businesses where people are still maybe working remotely, it makes sense. But with restaurants and bars, if you're a waiter, waitress, bartender, if they're not working inside your establishment, then they're not working. So the law is basically saying, hire back your employees not to work. Okay, so it just wasn't thought out for the restaurant industry.
I got it. Maybe they make amendments on this too. I mean, they've proven they can be very flexible, and the program's only been online for 6 days. Another question here: were you here during 9/11, 19 years ago?
Yes, I was.
Okay, I understand the program was different then, and it worked for a lot of people. How was it different?
So there are some differences where people are getting direct payments. And one of the things that we're saying right now is our small business owners are the backbone of our country, and they need direct payments to cover their expenses. Because when businesses get a loan, they really need a grant instead, because it's a cash flow business. If there's no money coming in the business, there's no money going out. So what we want to make sure is that this PPP loan will be forgivable over a longer period of time that makes sense for the restaurant and the nightlife industry. And we think it can be done. It's just going to take the political will.
I take it that would be your message to the president and Secretary Mnuchin then, to change the law that way. Is that a big fix, or is that complicated, Andrew?
No, it's not overly complicated. It basically just says instead of the loan being forgivable if you hire back your employees by the end of June, it'll be forgivable if you hire them back by the end of the year. And you can use some of that money to cover more of your rent expenses. And the other thing that the president and our elected leaders could do is we need these insurance companies to pay out business interruption insurance claims for businesses that paid for this insurance. What's happening right now, businesses are being forced to shut down by government. They want to go collect on the insurance that they have paid for, and the insurance companies are denying them. So I think if we are able to fix the PPP and we're able to get insurance claims paid out to small business owners, those two issues right there would bring huge relief to our business owners. Because frankly, if our local restaurant and pub owners are not at the core of this recovery, I'm afraid that the American economy is not going to recover. We are the backbone. We are the neighborhood restaurants, your local pubs, and we need to recover so the United States of America can recover. And we will do it together, but we need these policies and we need them fast.
Saw your piece in Forbes, no seat at the table for restaurant. CARES Act leaves hospitality industry hanging. Andrew Rigie, we'll see whether or not you get the changes you're looking for. Thank you for sharing your story. I think you speak on behalf of people all across the country when we're looking at a similar situation with restaurants and bars in the service industry. Thank you, Andrew. We'll talk again.
Thanks, Bill.